Hello everyone and happy wargaming, ladies and gentlemen. Today we're going to be talking about Thousand Suns again, and demon princes and the enhancements they can have and different synergies they have in every single detachment. Now, demon princes have been a staple for us, so first things first, let's go through winged and non-winged demon princes and their stat lines and abilities. So, stat line. The Demon Prince on foot has a movement of 9, toughness of 9, a 2-up armor, a 4-up invuln, 10 runes, leadership 6, and OC 3. Demon Prince with rings, the only difference here we have is a movement of 13. Their weapons are the same. The Dark Blessing, 24-inch range, 9 attacks, ballistic skill 2+, strength 4, AP 1, damage 1, ignores cover, psychic, sustained hits 1. The Infernal Cannon is 3 attacks at strength 2, ballistic skill 2, strength 5, AP 2, damage 2. Good for killing Marines, just not enough shots. In their Hell Forged weapons, the strike profile, 6 attacks, hitting on 2s at strength 8, AP 2, damage 3. And the sweep at 12 attacks, hitting on 2s, strength 6, AP 1, damage 1. Both of them have inbuilt devastating wounds and psychic, which is going to be very important for us going on forward, because a lot of our enhancements will help them with their psychic attacks in ranged and shooting. Now, the big differences here, as we can see right now, is the movement. The Demon Prince with wings moves faster, but we're going to keep going. Now we're going to go into the abilities and keywords. So the Demon Prince and the Demon with wings both have Deadly Demise D3. The Demon Prince with rings has Deep Strike, which is very useful. It lets us place him wherever we need him to be, makes him a rapid ingress threat. And we're going to keep going down that, but first let's look at the Demon Prince on foot. Its ability to survive pawns means he has lone operative when he's within 3 inches of Thousand Suns infantry models. This does include Zangor and all of our characters. Even the mounted characters we have, surprisingly, do have the infantry keyword. Spirit Snare. So when a friendly psyker dies within 9 inches of him, he gains a permanent +1 to cast up to a max of +2. Due to FAQs and erratas, different sources of +2 a cast for our rituals do not stack. However, this is a very easy way for him to get +1, +2, so that he can be the casting piece instead of Magnus or Ornament. And then Glamour of Zinch, where friendly Thousand Suns infantry within 6 inches gains stealth. That is an aura, and it has the psychic ability keyword, which is going to be important later. The Demon Prince with rings has the Hunter of Souls, so when he's attacking a character unit, he can reroll the hit roll and wound rolls of 1. Against Psycho characters, he does full hit and wound rerolls, and when this unit kills a character unit, he regains D3 wounds, or if it was a Psyker, he just gains a flat 3. Makes him a little more survivable, makes it so he doesn't need support from as many spells as the Demon Prince on foot does, but he doesn't have the ability to get lone op. And his next one is Aether Stride. So, when set up using the Deep Strike ability, so Umbelliferous Crystal, which I'm going to talk about later, interacts with this very funnily. He gains a 6-inch Deep Strike mechanic. His Dark Blessings gains sustained hits D3 instead of sustained hits 1, and he cannot declare charge. So that is now 9 attacks with sustained hits D3 with reroll 1s or full rerolls. And both of those are very easy to get, especially when our shooting attacks are hitting on 2s. Strength 4, AP 1, damage 1 is great for chaff clear. We have ways to buff that because we are, of course, the Thousand Suns. And different stratagems, different rituals, all can work to make that shooting rather devastating. So, we're going to look at how the army rules, which is just a quick list of our rituals that we have available. So we can have reroll hit rolls of 1 or all, going off at a 5 or a 10. Both of these are very easy for both of them to get off, so that makes it so they will always be hitting on 2s, rerolling 1s, most of the case in shooting. Temporal Surge in the shooting phase may move D6 inches or 6 inches, but is no longer able to charge. This combos very well with Aether Strike, because you can do a 6-inch Deep Strike, move 6 inches, so now you're contesting the objective and then shoot them off of it. Doom Bolt. One enemy unit suffers D3 or D3 plus 3 mortal wounds. We're just throwing out mortal wounds. That makes them so their shooting is more likely to just finish something off. Twist of Fate, they gain +1 or +2 AP in shooting. Their Dark Blessing has ignores cover, so making it an AP2 or AP3 attack is going to put most things on an invul save, or just get rid of their save altogether. So now we're at the first detachment. The Change Host of Deceit, so our Demon's detachment. So detachment rule gives a 6-inch aura to the demons, to our demon princes, so that if they have a visible Lord of Change or Kairos, they gain rituals. The other side of that, where the demon psyker demons give our units a 4-up invul, doesn't matter because we already have 4-up invul on these units. So this is just them passing off rituals to Lords of Change and Kairos, which could be very useful because we have a very strong melee with these. So having a demon prince on foot, standing around your Lord of Change and Kairos, or especially Kairos, so Kairos can keep indirect firing, or direct firing if necessary, and then someone tries to charge into it, you're within a heroic intervention with your demon prince, and now whatever charged Kairos you can probably just pick up. Now, our next one is a stratagem, the Nether Shriek, or enhancement, Nether Shriek Mind Eater. At the start of shooting, you're going to pick an enemy unit within 12 inches. They're going to have to take a battle shock test. If they fail, they take 3 mortal wounds. Yeah. It's potentially free mortal wounds and a free battle shock. Really, probably not worth the points. It doesn't really combo well with anything we do. If they have a lone psyker character that has 3 wounds left and you blast it with another Shriek Mind Shriek on a winged demon prince, you will still get the +3 wounds back, but it's very conditional. Relying on battle shock just isn't that great, and we all know how that goes. So our next one is enhancement, Duplicitous Malediction. After both players have deployed, you may redeploy 3,000 Suns units, and you may put them in Street Reserve. Important note here, as far as I can tell, this will not let you redeploy the demon units. You must redeploy your 1,000 Suns Codex units, not the Scintillating Legion. Useful, you can use this to deploy your winged demon princes and then be like, not right now, pick them up, and now they can deep strike and use their other strike ability. Next, we're going into the Change Host of Deceit still. So this one, we're looking at stratagems now. Sulphurous Veil is a -1 to be hit in shooting or melee. Very useful. We're already semi-tough bodies at the toughness 10 with 10 wounds. Deceptive Glamour. This 1,000 Sun unit cannot be targeted until all Scintillating Legion models are no longer engaged. So this is in melee. Someone charges into your pink horrors, or you charge in with your pink horrors or demon prince, you can make them have to try to kill the pink horrors before they can even target your demon prince. And then the last one is Chrono Sorceress Bleed, 1 CP. An enemy unit that tries to charge this unit has a -2 to the charge. Useful, less likely to be charged. Whenever I look at the demon princes, their shooting is nice, but they are really our melee threat. However, we always want to be able to control when and how we get into fights. So useful for 1 CP. Change Host of Deceit, I think, is very interesting right now. I don't think going with the demon princes is the way to go because you're already going to have the Lords of Changes and probably Kairos in there as well. We're going to need more other things to go around the board, score points, and not just necessarily be damage dealers. So, as I said before, combos well with Kairos, because Kairos has that Vector, get bonus CP, so more option for rerolls. We don't really have that many stratagems to use with the demon princes, okay? But he is Lords of Changes, could move around. They have very powerful shooting, especially compared to our demon princes, so keep them together. Lord of Change just will keep blasting and give you more casting options, while your foot princes or even your wing princes can be close by so that they can prevent any charge shenanigans from getting at them. If something charges your Lord of Change, we can charge them back. And then pink horrors are just extremely durable, especially with their splitting. It's an OC screen so that we can screen out, score some points, and then just keep launching Lords of Change, Kairos Feet Reaver attacks, and then charging with our Demon Princes. Grand Coven. So this one is very, very good with our Demon Princes. So the detachment rules. Psychic attacks gain one of these, Army Ride, and you cannot select more than one. You can get a +1 to wound, you get devastating wounds, or +6 inches range to psychic weapons. So that would take our psychic shooting from 24 inches to 30 inches. Could be useful, but generally we're going to be within that range anyway. The +1 to wound is very good, especially with Strength 4, AP1, 1 damage shooting, and also with a Strength 8 melee strike. Now we're effectively Strength 12. Well, matching strength for anything 8 or higher, toughness 8 or higher, so wounding on 4s. And there's more things in here that can change that. And devastating wounds, not so great. It helps our shooting, but our melee, strike, and sweep already have built-in devastating wounds, so really the +1 wound is where we're going to want to go. The Lord of Forbidden Lore adds 6 inches to rituals cast by this unit. Useful, you can put it on the Demon Prince, and if depending on how many other Psychos die, effectively have 2 Magnuses, one with a 30-inch range. If you have the points and you can't take any other enhancement, that might be the one. Unprolific Pistol lets you pick up this unit in the command phase and set it up anywhere 9 inches or more away in that same reinforcement step. Now this is important, this is not Deep Strike, so you cannot use this in combination with the Winged Demon Prince to Aether Stride, because Aether Striding twice in one game sounds like a lot of fun. It can be very devastating. No, you can Aether Stride once, pick it up, and then place it back somewhere else 9 inches on the next turn. And next we have the Eldritch Vortex of Etaph. This is my favorite one for them because it's +1 strength, +1 damage to psychic weapons. So if we go back real quick to look at their melee weapons, you will see that their strike is strength 8, damage 4. This makes it to strength 9, damage 4, and it makes their shooting to strength 5, damage 2. So strength 5 gives us a great break point because now we're wounding Marines on 3, and if we combine that with the +1 to wound, we're wounding Marine bodies on 2, and 2 damage kills Marine bodies. AP1 is nice. And we have rituals that can increase that AP. The strength 8 to strength 9 means most light vehicles are toughness 9. Now we're wounding those on 4, going up to 3s if we have the +1 to wound, and we have the devastating wounds. And being a damage 4 is just really great because there's a lot of models around that are just weird wound numbers or -1 damage, where damage 3 just doesn't feel that great and damage 2 almost isn't worth it. But damage 4 melee means Bulgrin, if every failed save, they're just probably going to lose a model. Now going on to the stratagems we have, Psychic Dominion gives this model a 4 Feel of Pain against Psychic and Psychic weapons used against. And Psychic weapons used against this model gain Hazardous. This is used in the shooting phase. Useful in the mirror match. This is a very situational one. Destined by Fate. After you fail a save, you can change the damage attack to 0. Very useful on a 2-up, 4-up save model, because that means they have to eat through our 4-up involved with a toughness 10 and 10 wounds. And some people that'd be difficult enough, and if we fail one of their railgun shots or a vanquisher shot, we get to know that we failed before we say, oh, that's damage 0. And that's just very useful. It means our Demon Princes are going to be around for a while longer. Next, Egotistical Power, 1 command point. You can gain or replace a detachment rule selection, so devastating wounds, +1 to wound, or the +6 inch range for this unit. And this also lets us reuse ones we've used before. So you go turn 1, nothing, turn 2, devastating wounds for the rest of your army, but your Demon Prince doesn't need devastating wounds because he's going into melee. 1 CP, he gets the +1 to wound. And then next turn you go +1 wound for the rest for your army. You've used all of it. Turn 5, he's still around, and you need to really hurt something. Just give it another +1 wound with egotistical power. It means you can always have +1 to wound available for your demon princes if you need it, or the +6-inch range if you need it. Desecration of Worlds, 1 command point. It's sticky objective, never going to complain about that. Arco Focus works really well with the foot princes, because if they get the +1 or +2 to cast, you just get full rerolls. Very useful. You reroll that psychic test, and you do have to do this when you channel the warp, and you will reroll all 3 dice. So if you reroll all 3 dice and you have the +1 or +2, you're more than likely going to get the big result. And then Devastating Sorcery, 2 command points. Ranged psychic weapons gain +9 inches and full hit and wound rerolls. Works very well with the Winged Demon Prince because the +9 inches and full hit and wound rerolls, if we're hitting on 2s, wounding on 2s, all of a sudden we can either stride with sustained hits D3 with full hit rerolls so we can fish for those, or we can do sustained hits D3, devastating wounds, and do full wound rerolls. We can just put out a lot of shots with sustained and then just fish for devastating wounds or make wounding that much more easily. This combines very well as well with the Eldritch Vortex if you tap, because now we can make that shooting attack strength 5, damage 2. Just always trying to just stack buffs, and we are an elite army with a lot of bullets at low strength and good AP. So we just have to use that to our full advantage in this. So because they have the built-in devastating wounds per Grand Covenant, their combo with the +1 wound is very good. They are an anti-tank unit, especially with the Vortex and +1 to wound. And keynote here, if you have foot Zangor, which most lists are going to have 1, maybe 2 Zangor or foot, the Zangor will gain stealth near them, and they will provide lone op to the Demon Prince on foot. Our next one is the Hexwarp Throwdown, and this one, all of my theory crafting is saying I need 2 to 3 princes in this. 1 on foot minimum, 1 in the air with wings, maybe 2 with wings. So, detachment rule. If within the flow, psychic attacks gain +1 wound. So a flow of magic is going to be established by, at the beginning of any phase, if you control more objectives in the mid board, that mid board, and your deployment's in your flow. Your deployment's always in your flow, and if you control your opponent's home objective, their deployment's in your flow. And now if you're outside your flow, your psychic attacks reroll rolls of 1. Very good. So we already have some high strength with our with our melee profile. So the reroll wound rolls of 1 mean we're wounding a lot of things on 2s. And within it, our strength 4, AP 1, damage 1 shooting attack now gets +1 to wound. So wounding Marines on 3s, wounding Guardsmen on 2s, very useful. Going on to the detachments, we have Arcane Might. Psychic weapons gain +1 strength, and if they are in flow, +2. So taking our shooting psychic weapon from strength 4 to strength 5 is a great breakpoint. Going up to strength 6 is amazing. It means we're wounding the Custodies on 4s, we're wounding Guardsmen on 3s, Guardsmen on 2s, Sisters on 2s, Marines on 3s. It's just a great breakpoint for us. We're wounding Orcs on 3s. Very useful. And then it goes to the same thing with melee. Going from strength 8 to strength 9 is a huge breakpoint. Strength 9 to strength 10 is another huge breakpoint because that just means we're going from 5s to 4s to 3s. Empowered Manifestation adds 6-inch range to the range of psychic abilities that specify a range. Now, at first instinct, this doesn't seem that great. Like, you're gonna increase the psychic range of rituals, but then you think about it, we have an aura with a 6-inch range that's psychic ability on the Demon Prince. This makes the Demon Prince's aura 12 inches. Now I could be wrong and a judge could come correct me on this, but from what I've seen and anything I can find, it will increase our aura size to a 12-inch stealth aura coming from the Demon Prince on foot. So our foot prince is now a centerpiece model where he's just passing out this stealth to all of our rubrics, to all of our Zangor, so that we can maintain the flow and be that just a little bit more tough to deal with. Empiric Onslaught. When in flow of magic, psychic weapons gain +3 attacks. Our Ring Demon Prince and Footprints in shooting have 9 attacks base, going up to 12 attacks with sustained hits 1. We're just unlocking a flurry of blows for one model that seems like it's a full squad. Going from 6 to 9 strike attacks, very useful, especially when all of them are damage 3. And then our last one, Noctilith Mantle. Unit cannot cast rituals. Seems bad at first. You're going to want to put this one on a Winged Demon Prince because it will always be in the flow of magic now. A Winged Prince always in the flow of magic is always going to get +1 to wound. The Winged Princes already have built-in reroll wound rolls of 1s against characters, so now you have your Aether Striding, +1 to wound, reroll 1s to wound, character hunter. Very useful, very powerful. And onto the stratagems, we have the Warding Hex. If you're within your flow, this objective will now be sticky. Okay, useful, always. We're an elite army, we can't just leave models to standard circles, we need to make those circles ours somehow and keep them. Wrath of the Doomed is a fight on death on a 4-up, or if you're within your flow of magic, a 3-up. Not worth it. These are going to be useful for models with, or units with a lot more models. I don't want to spend 1 CP on a 50-50 or 60-40 chance that I can fight on death. Strands of Time, shoot or declare charge after you fall back, or if you fall back in your flow of magic, so fall back into your flow of magic and then use Strands of Time, you can shoot and declare charge. Because you will do, this triggers after your unit has made a fallback move. So if you're not in your flow of magic, but you can fall back into your flow of magic, you can still get the shoot and declare charge. Scouring Warplane, 1 CP, gains ignore cover for psychic weapons and strips cover from one target hit by those psychic weapons. We have ignores cover everywhere in our army pretty much. This just isn't going to be worth it most of the time. Our psychic shooting already has ignores cover. Our next one, Kaleidoscopic Tempest. Unit gains stealth. That's already great. 1 CP, -1 to be hit from shooting. But if I'm in my flow of magic, I also get the benefit of cover. So this is pseudo smoke for Demon Princes. Very useful. Smoke is probably one of the most used stratagems in the Garn, at least for me, because it could just keep a tank alive forever. And now I can do it with my foot or wing princes. Albeit, I'll give you there some catch to it. I have to be within my flow of magic. But generally, with Hex Withdrawal Burn, my theory is you're going to keep your Demon Prince within your flow of magic, passing off that 12-inch aura of stealth until something gets close enough that you can strike and just take it out. So, the detachment supports a lot of psychic without being attached to rubric. That is also true. The reroll wound rolls of 1, not as beneficial when you are attached to rubrics because you already have that. But because I have my built-in devastating wounds, Demon Princes really enjoy the reroll wound, and the Strength 8 enjoys the +1 wound. Like I said, it goes from wounding most tanks to 5s to 4s now. So, good option. You take 2 or 3 Demon Princes instead of Magnus in this detachment. I would still say, might want to take Magnus in this one. He also gets a lot of fun use, and he's just a powerhouse. Rubricated Phalanx. This one doesn't give us a lot of support, but the Demon Prince will support this. Let's talk about it some more. So, detachment rule, nothing. Enhancements, Risen Rubricate. This is just a good model you can throw Risen Rubricate on. you're going to pick 2 Rubricate Battle Line or 1 Rubricate unit to gain Infiltrator. Okay? Arcane Thralls. Friendly Rubricate unit within 9 inches can reroll a Battle Shock test. Well, if you're going to keep footprints within 6 of your Rubricate units to give them stealth so that they're even tougher and the rubrics are tough detachment, this is a very cheap enhancement that can go on there. So now they're tough and very unlikely to get battle shocked. And then Revenge of the Rubricate. This Rubricate unit can shoot at the unit that just destroyed the Psycho model. You're going to be marrying footprints to your Rubrics Marines anyway. This just kind of lets the Rubric Marines take revenge for the footprints. So, like I said, giving Rubric units within 6 inch stealth. Demon Princes are a good high strength countercharge to that in this detachment because we're still not a melee army. It gives some anti-tank to the list relatively cheaply. And this is the fun one. Exalted Sorcerers in this detachment get a lot better because rubrics are tougher, and then you add on top a 4-up invul and then a +1 save against damage 1 weapons. Okay. And the revive mechanic works very well with Demon Princes because if you have an Exalted Sorcerer attached to a rubric squad, there are no 2 Psyker models in that squad. And you can choose to put wounds on the rubric aspiring sorcerer first, which is a 3-wound model, so harder, it'll eat more damage at first. Kill that, revive that, kill that, revive that, and now you're at your +2 to cast quickly with your Demon Prince, and you've absorbed a lot more damage because they have to chew through a higher wound model compared to the rest of the squad, and they have the 4-up info. I think that's a very fun combo. Exalted Sorcerer with a 10-man brick right next to a Demon Prince. Now we're going to go on. Warpforged Cabal, vehicle detachment. So, in this detachment, Demon Princes give vehicles within 6 inches deadly demise on a 5+. Alright, not the greatest. Probably going to hurt our Demon Princes, okay? And they reroll 1 hit, wound, and damage roll instead of 1 hit, wound, or damage roll. Alright, that's useful, very powerful. But we don't see a lot of Thousand Sun vehicles for a reason. It's not that they're bad, we just have so many other options, and vehicles aren't magic. Well, we're going to keep going. Enhancement, Warp Siphon. If this unit channels the warp, you can inflict 1 mortal wound to a vehicle within 6 to reroll the channel die. Okay? Just more consistency with spells. Biomechanical Mutation. Heal a friendly vehicle within 6 inches, D3 wounds. Okay? Make vehicles tougher, live longer. Warp Cursed Rune Master. While this model is within 6 inches of a friendly vehicle, add 6 inches to the range of rituals cast. Alright, +6 to the cast range of rituals could be useful. I'm not usually struggling with finding cast range to rituals, and Demon Prince is probably going to be pushing forward with the vehicles in this one. Or if you're standing back with the vehicles, you're not really utilizing Demon Prince to his full potential, I believe. So now we're going to go on to stratagems. Mutate Landscape. It's a sticky objective, which can cause a D3 mortal wound trap on that objective if an enemy model advances, fallbacks, or charges onto it. That activates on a 4+. Nice. Cyber Spirit Machinations. A vehicle within 6 inches of this model has fallback, shoot, and charge. Useful. Malevolent Animus. Vehicle within 6 inches gains ignores modifiers. I did not write all the modifiers. It's pretty much every modifier except save modifiers. Very useful. It just means our tanks are going to eat whatever they need to eat. Ensorcelled Infusion. Vehicle within 6 inches. Vehicle weapon gains psychic and +1 to wound. So, as you can tell from this, none of these really help the Demon Prince themselves. The Demon Prince is just a tough Psyker model that turns all of this on for our vehicles. Honestly, I think you might be better off with a Sorcerer on disc. It's cheaper, easier to hide. Warp Meld Pact. This is the mutant detachment, and again, detachment rule doesn't help our Demon Princes, but we do have a couple, and we don't even have any enhancement that can go on a Demon Prince. We have 2 stratagems, the Gift Change, When this model is destroyed, gain a chaos spot. Yay! I refund about 30 points when you kill my demon friends. Not worth it. You don't gain a full unit until you gain one model. And then Blessed Transmutation, you're going to return D3 plus 1 Zangers to the friendly Zanger unit within 12 inches. Okay. I revive 4 models. That's very good. In this detachment, Zangers on foot provide lone op to the Demon Prince, and the Demon Prince does give them stealth, so they might be a little bit more tough in this detachment, reviving D3 plus 1. I don't see how this detachment works after they changed it so the Mutilith Vortex Beast and Chaos Spawn aren't getting the benefits. So, you might be a good just general damage dealer in a Warp Meld Pact list that provides the stealth buff out to all your other units. You can revive some models, but I'm not sure this is the way you want to go with it. This is not the way I would think to go with it. Now, that's all the detachments. Demon Prince is very useful. You can see here's my little buddy, Demon Prince. I recently finished painting. I know he's not the greatest, and I need to get better at taking pictures. So please like, comment, subscribe. Write down any suggestions you have for the videos. Tell me I'm a dumbass. Tell me I'm smart. I don't know, but happy wargaming.